Hello and welcome to Rathod's IAS. Today in this session, we are going to see current affairs of 30th November 2023. Okay? So now let us see the first topic. So first important topic, it is from our international relations point of view. So this article is talking about the United Nations resolution. So title of this article which says that India backs United Nations resolution against Israel for not leaving Syrian Golan. So this article which is talking about especially United Nations General Assembly. So here you have to know about international organizations. So in this context you have to know about international organizations. Okay. So what is their mandate? And some basic GK facts, that is general knowledge regarding facts regarding that organization, because in your prelims you can get statements regarding this United Nations General Assembly as well. So these are very important. So now let us see what is the context. So if you see context, it says that India has voted in favor of a draft resolution in United Nations General Assembly. So in this United Nations General Assembly, so India voted in favor of a draft resolution in this United Nations General Assembly, and actually they expressed a deep concern over Israel not withdrawing from Syrian Golan. So here this issue it is about, here they are not withdrawing from this Syrian Golan, that is Israel, they are not withdrawing from this Syrian Golan. So against this resolution passed, and in this resolution India voted in favor of this resolution in this United Nations General Assembly. And the Syrian Golan, it is a region in southwest Syria that was occupied by Israeli forces on June 5th, 1967. So actually what is the issue here? So about 193 members of United Nations General Assembly, they voted on this draft resolution. Okay, and especially, so which are the countries they voted against? So countries like Australia, Canada, Israel, UK and US, they voted against. So if you see friendly nations with India, so here we have Australia and US. So they are very important because US and Australia, they are partners with India in different groupings. For example, you can talk about Quad. Yes or no? So whenever we are having this friendly relations with the country, so India is voting in favor and these countries are voting against. So because of this, there might be some changes or some clashes between the relations between these countries and India. And resolution which also stresses that illegally of this Israeli settlement construction in this Golan. So in this Golan, so illegal construction of this Israeli settlements had seen. So if we are talking about some facts regarding this United Nations General Assembly, so it was established in year 1945. So aftermath of this World War II. So aftermath of this World War II, so this United Nations General Assembly which had been established under a charter. Okay, Charter of United Nations. And it is one of the 6 principal organs of United Nations. And this United Nations General Assembly is a very important policy making organ. Okay, so it is a very important because it is a policy making organ of United Nations as a whole. And even this United Nations General Assembly which provides a unique forum for multilateral discussion of full spectrum of international issues which had been covered by Charter of United Nations. And here each of these 193 member states of United Nations, they have equal vote. Okay, so what are the key decisions will be taken by this United Nations General Assembly? So first one here is appointing Secretary General. So first one will be appointing Secretary General on the recommendations of Security Council. And next one is electing of non-permanent members for this United Nations Security Council. So all these are very important key decisions will be taken by United Nations General Assembly. So if you are talking about the next article, it is about what is Kerala governor doing for 2 years on the bill. So actually bills passed in State Legislative Assembly 2 years back and they went to governor for assent. Okay, but this governor, this so-and-so governor, he is withholding the bills from last 2 years. So because of this now, Supreme Court which is showing concern like so what governor is doing from last 2 years? So why he is not taking an action? So this is one disconcern which is shown by the Supreme Court. So this article is important from GS paper 2. So from last 1 month onwards, we are discussing these topics. And if you see the context, it says that the Supreme Court found substance in the argument of the state of Kerala, the Governor Arif Muhammad Khan, which had behaved like an adversary by keeping 8 key bills pending for 2 years before granting assent. So this article says that Governor of Kerala, that is Arif Muhammad Khan, so he is withholding the bills from last 2 years. He is not giving the assent. So if you see details, it says that 3-judge bench which led by CJI, that is nothing but our Chandrachud sir. So he noted that so there is no reason or no justification which is given by the governor regarding the withholding of bills. So that too, it is a very long period, that is like from 2 years onwards, there is no action which is taken by the governor of Kerala. So if we are talking about, so what are the discretionary powers? So can governor withhold his assent to a bill in exercise of his discretionary powers or not? So here we have to see Article 200 and Article 201 of Indian Constitution. So here if you see this Article 200, which says that what are the powers of governor, okay, if there is any bill which passed in legislative assembly, if that bill is coming to governor for assent, so what are the powers that governor is having? So which is tell in this Article 200 of Indian Constitution. And Article this 200 which says that governor he can withhold the bill. Okay, but that should be on the advice of Council of Ministers. Because governor need to work, okay, governor need to follow aid and advice of Council of Ministers. So Constitution provides that the governor can exercise his executive powers only on the advice of the Council of Ministers under Article 154. So only on this Article 154, yes, here governor can exercise his executive powers only, that too on the advice of Council of Ministers. But it also had been violated in some states. And there is a larger question is that why governor should be allowed to withhold assent when the bill is passed by the assembly. So these are some questions which are coming into picture, and we need to talk about what are the discretionary powers. Okay, here we need to talk about what are the discretionary powers of governor. So now what happens if pending of bills is happening? So what happens when withholding of some key bills? So first and the foremost thing here is that will delay in decision making process. So whenever governor is failing to give assent or to give the decisions on the bills passed by legislature, then that will lead to delay in the decision making. So why? Because any bill which becomes an act or law only whenever it is getting assent, so only with assent or only with the sign of governor, so the bill which passed by this assembly, that will gonna become an act or a law. So if there is no sign, if there is withholding of bill, then there will be delay in decision making process, and it will affect effective functioning of the state government. It will affect effective functioning of the state government. When governor fails to make a decision on a bill passed by the assembly, it delays the implementation of policies and law. So it will delay the implementation of policies and laws. And even it will undermines democratic process. So even it will undermines democratic process. So the governor who is appointed by the center can use his powers to delay or reject the bills passed by state assemblies or for political reasons. So whenever there is delaying of bills, that will undermine the democratic process in the state. And next one is even we will be having issue with public perception. So public, they often view pending of these bills with the governor as a sign of inefficiency. So they will think that there is inefficiency or even corruption in the state government. So because of this, it will damage government's reputation itself. And there is also that will leads to lack of accountability. So whenever governor is withholding assent, he does not provide any reason for his decision, and this lacks accountability. So that will undermine the principles of transparency and accountability in the governance, right? So these are some important things that you need to remember regarding this topic. And now let us move on to next topic. It is about Center and Manipur Inc. deal with banned meaty insurgent body. So you know that about violence in Manipur. So violence in Manipur. So this violence, it is between two communities. So one will be Meiteis and next one is Kukis. So now here central government came up with a deal with this one insurgent group of Meitei. So this topic is important from your GS paper 3 under internal security point of view. So it is internal security issue because we are seeing that there is failure of law and order or law and order problem in this Manipur because of violence. If you see context, it says that Center and Manipur government, they have signed a peace agreement. So this peace agreement, it is with United Nations Liberation Front. Okay, so agreement is with this United Nations Liberation Front. It is a banned Meitei extremist organization. So it is a banned Meitei extremist organization and also the oldest armed group based in Manipur Valley. So it is also the oldest armed group based in the Manipur Valley. So if you see details, it says that this United Nations Liberation Front agreed to renounce violence. It agreed to renounce violence and to join the mainstream. So this is the thing which said by our Union Home Minister. And actually this United Nations Liberation, UN Liberation Front, that is United National Liberation Front, so which is one of the extremist organization of Meitei. So when it was formed, so it was formed in year 1964 and is operating within and as well as outside Indian territory. So it is not only working inside Indian territory but even outside Indian territory. And it is one of the 8 Meitei extremist organizations that Ministry of Home Affairs had declared as unlawful association under anti-terror law. Okay, so anti-terror law is nothing but Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, that is UAPA. So regarding this UAPA, so we had discussion in our yesterday's class, right? So please revise that UAPA. And now let us move on to next topic. So this topic is interesting. So can you see the images of elephant? So are they real images? No. Actually these are the sculptures of elephants. So these are the sculptures of elephants. They are made up of one invasive weed. So invasive weed is nothing but lantana camera. So I think you might have seen this lantana camera. That is nothing but so you will be seeing like in one flower the small colorful flowers will be there. Okay, so after this flower the fruit will be like black seeds, and even many people they will be consuming that small black seeds. So I will draw the flower here. It will be like this. And this flower will become like this, black seeds, and they will be very sweet. I used to even consume it when I was a child. So actually here you have to know about invasive species. So invasive species is one of the important component in your environment and ecology. So in your environment and ecology subject, yes, you have to focus on this invasive species, and there is a high chance of getting question regarding this invasive species from both your prelims and as well as mains. So from both prelims and mains, so you can get topic or question from this invasive species. So if we are talking about the details, it says that lantana camera, it is commonly called as lantana. So it is a species of flowering plant within Verbena family, and this is native to American tropics. Actually here we brought that plant as a decorative shrub during the British colonial period, but quickly it took over several ecosystems as invasive plant. Now it is acting as an invasive plant. So this shrub that can spread on the forest ground, and it can climb over the trees as a creeper and entangle with other native species with very ease. and it is a very adaptable species. It will be adapted to the environment and it can inhabit the wide variety of ecosystems. So because of this we are calling it as an invasive species. Clear? So once it has been introduced into the habitat, it spreads rapidly between 45 degrees north and 45 degrees south and more than 1400 meters in altitude. Okay, so these are some important facts regarding this lantana. And now let us see next topic. It is regarding women political empowerment. So if you see women's percentage in the politics, it is very much less. So women's percentage in politics is very much less. So in this context you have to see what are the reasons behind this less political empowerment of women. And this topic is important from GS paper 2 under social issues, and even you can study this topic under women empowerment. You can study this topic under women empowerment. So this is very, very important. So now let us see this topic, and now let us try to understand. So what is the introduction? So what author wants to say? So in any country, political empowerment of women is possible only with the two routes. So only with the two routes, yes, we can ensure the political empowerment of women. So first one is we have to reserve certain percentage of seats for women. So first one is reservation. And not only this, even the second route here is, so while political parties they are nominating candidates, so there we have to ensure certain quota for women candidates. So reservation, and next one is quota. So in these two ways only we can go for women empowerment. So if you are not focused on this, yes, we are not going to have women empowerment for sure. And there are examples for both that have been adopted in various countries, in turn even helping women's political empowerment. So actually our neighboring countries like Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan, they opted for legislative route. And now those countries are doing better in the representation of women in their legislatures. For example, if you see Pakistan there are about 17% of seats they had been reserved for women in National Assembly, and Bangladesh reserved 50 out of 350 seats, and Nepal reserved 33% of seats, and even India recently passed this reservation for women in the Lok Sabha and State Legislative Assemblies bill, and actually it has not been came into picture because we don't have the exact data of census. So once census is done, so government said that we are going to implement this 33% of reservation for women in Lok Sabha and as well as State Legislative Assembly. Clear? So we are talking about what are the reasons for the underrepresentations of women. So first one is patriarchal mindset. So in our country, yes, we have this patriarchy, that means male dominated society. So we have male dominated society. So India is a deeply patriarchal society, and women, they are often considered inferior to man. So this mindset, which is deeply ingrained in the society and affects the way people perceive women's abilities to lead and to participate in politics. And next one is social norms and stereotypes. So women in India, they are often expected to conform to traditional gender roles and are discouraged from pursuing careers in politics. And especially social norms and stereotypes, they dictate that women should prioritize their roles as wives and mothers. Politics is often considered as a male domain. So often here the work of women, it is to take just care of elders, care of their children, and they have to be housewives. So it is not the work of women to enter into politics. So this is the idea of male domain. And even women did not have proper access to education. So women in India, they have historically had limited access to education, which has hindered their ability to participate in politics. And even in recent years, here women, they had literates, okay, but even still they are not having the necessary education and as well as skill to run a political party. And even according to ACER report, that is Annual Status of Education Report 2020, 5.5% of children who are between the age of 6 to 10 years, they were not enrolled in the school, and about 15.9% of children who are between the ages of 11 to 14, they were not enrolled in school. So because of this, it says that yes, there is no proper education for the children. And next one is, there is limited representation in the political parties. So women, they are often underrepresented in political parties. And because of this, it is making difficult for them to rise through ranks and secure party nominations for elections. And this lack of representation can be attributed to gender bias with political parties and the perception that women are not as elected as men. And next one is, even women, they are facing issues of violence and harassment, right? So women in politics, they are often subjected to violence and harassment that is happening both physical and as well as online. So because of this, it can deter them from entering politics or speaking out on issues, and there is lack of safe and inclusive spaces in politics. So it is one of the significant barrier to women participation in politics. And next one is, there is also unusual opportunities for women. So women in politics, they face unequal opportunities. For example, they will be having low salaries. So they have less access to resources and limited networking opportunities. And because of this, what happened? So it is one of the important detriment for women to enter into politics. So now let us see what are the major challenges the major challenges that we have seen till now. And I want to give you one means question for practice, that is, what are the major challenges hindering women's representation in politics in India, and what measures can taken to overcome them? So try to write an answer for this question and post in the comment box for evaluation. And now let us see next topic. It is about a better model. So this article is focusing on ECIMCC, that is Model Code of Conduct. So here you have to understand what is this Model Code of Conduct and what are the important objectives of this Model Code of Conduct. So it is very important, and you can expect a mains based question from this Model Code of Conduct. And this topic is important from polity, which comes under your GS paper 2. And now here, if you see here, what is this Model Code of Conduct? So Model Code of Conduct, it is a set of norms, and it is a principles that will guide the political parties and candidates during elections. So during elections, so this Model Code of Conduct, it is a set of norms and principles to guide the political parties during the elections, and it evolved with the consensus of political parties, and we have to follow that principles. Okay, and even this Model Code of Conduct, which binds them to respect and observe it in letter and as well as spirit. So this is the meaning of this Model Code of Conduct. So what are the objectives? The first one here is, Election Commission need to ensure observance of Model Code of Conduct by a political party in power and contesting candidates for conducting free and fair elections under Article 324 of Indian Constitution. So Election Commission, which ensures observance of the MCC by a political party in power, and even it will be seeing about the contesting candidates for conducting free and fair elections under Article 324 of Indian Constitution. And this Model Code of Conduct also ensures that official machinery for electoral purpose is not misused. So we should not misuse the official machinery for the personal purpose. And even it also ensures that electoral offences, malpractices and corrupt practices, they should be prevented by all the means. And this Model Code of Conduct is ensured from the date of announcement of election schedule by Election Commission, and it is operational till the process of election is completed. And next important point here is, during general elections to Lok Sabha, so the code is applicable throughout the country. Throughout the country, this code is applicable during the general elections to Legislative Assembly of the state, and even this code is applicable to the entire state. And even during by-elections, so this Model Code of Conduct, it would be applicable in the area of the concerned constituency only. So these are the some important facts that you need to know regarding this model code of conduct, and this topic is at most important from your mains from polity point of view. And now let us see the PDF of The Hindu, and let us try to see some important articles that appeared, okay, in our newspaper. So this is our Delhi edition of The Hindu. So first article is US blames Indian official for plot against Panu. So again, this type of same incident which happened in India and Canada relations. So Canada government said that India is one of the reason behind the killing of Khalistani leader in Canada. So the same way now US is blaming Indian officials to plot against this Panum. So Panum, he is a Sikh leader. And next one is, what was Kerala's governor doing for last 2 years on bills, ask Supreme Court. So I discussed this topic in detail, and this topic is important from GS paper 2 under polity. And next topic is, India backs United Nations resolution against Israel for not leaving Syrian Golan. So this article is important from GS paper 2 under international relations point of view. I discussed that topic. And if you move on here, you can see Center and Manipur Inc. deal with banned meaty insurgent body. So I discussed this topic. It is important from internal security, which comes under GS paper 3. And next topic is, major oil gas firms have pledged to go carbon neutral by 2050. So this is said by COP28 chief. So this article is very important because oil and gas firms, so they will release a lot of carbon dioxide emissions into atmosphere. And now they are going to become carbon neutral. That means amount of carbon dioxide release is equal to amount of carbon dioxide absorbed. So this condition is called as carbon neutrality. So we are going to achieve it by 2050. Target here is 2050. And in the city page, there is nothing much important. In the states page, you can see one keyword. So extend winter session of assembly to discuss quota, says Jangre Patil. So here we are not going to discuss about which part is talking about this, but here the keyword is winter session. So if we talk about sessions, so how many sessions will be there? BMW, budget, monsoon and winter session. So here, which is the smallest session, that is winter session. So this article says that we have to extend this winter session. So here please note down the time when these sessions will be going to happen. And if you move on, directly you can go to this editorial page. So there is article regarding social justice, sexual education, that is a need of our times. So actually this article says that there is increasing of gender-based violence, especially sexual violence is happening. So because of this, the children who are from the tender age itself, so we have to make them to know about what is a sexual education as well as social justice. So this article is important from your GS paper 2 point of view from social issues. So here you have to see what are the steps that can be taken by the government. And next topic is women's political empowerment, more talk, less action. So I discussed this topic in detail. And next topic is a better model. So this article, it is about ECI model code of conduct. I discussed this topic. And in this text and context, there is one article, it is regarding understand rat hole mining. So why this rat hole mining is in news? Because in recent rescue operations in Uttarkasi region, that is a tunnel. Okay, in the tunnel, 41 people, they had been stuck down and they were bring out by rescue operations through this rat hole mining. So I hope you can see this image. So there is a hill here. So you can see small holes. So this is the rat hole mining. So especially which is seen in the Meghalaya. So in the Meghalaya, they will be using this rat hole mining for coal extraction or coal mining. So rat hole mining, which happens in the two types. So first one, it involves digging the tunnels 3 to 4 feet deep and barely allowing the workers to crawl in it and out. So they have to squat while extracting the coal. Okay. So this is the method. And actually environmental activists and as well as human rights activists, so they began flagging the issues regarding this rat hole mining, and finally this rat hole mining has been banned. Okay, so this is about this. And if you move on to this news page, so here you can see one article that is regarding conspiracy under PMLA stands only if listed crime involved. So here you have to focus on one keyword, that is Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Okay, so prevention of money laundering. So here money laundering is one of the important issue that we are facing in our society. So here you have to see what is the meaning of this money laundering, and you have to see what are the issues with that and why this money laundering is happening. So all these things are important. And next one is unemployment rate in urban areas has come down, says survey. So if you are talking about unemployment, so what is the meaning of this unemployment, you need to know, and you have to know different types of unemployment and what are the reasons why this unemployment rate has been decreased in urban areas. So all these things that you have to know. And next one is about free food grain scheme to continue for more 5 years. So this article is talking about Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana. So this Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, so it came into picture during this COVID-19 times. Especially government want to ensure the food security for the people under this scheme. So under this scheme here, free food grains for the people who are eligible under this National Food Security Act of 2013. And finally now it is going to be extended for further 5 more years. And next topic, it is about center to provide drones to 15,000 women groups for use in agriculture. So here you have to focus on application of drones. And you have to see what is this drone and different types of drones based on their size. And next topic is fast track court scheme to run for 3 more years. So here you have to know about what is this meaning of fast track court. So you have to know about what is this fast track court and what are the functions. So what are the advantages and disadvantages. And in this world page there is nothing much important, and in this business page you can see government paves a way for the 16th finance panel. So here we have to come up with this finance commission. So based on these recommendations we are going to cover over 5-year period, okay, which is going to commence from this 1st April 2026, and we have to come up with this 16th finance commission. So here we have to know about what are some facts regarding this finance commission. So what are this finance commission targets and what is the mandate? So what are the functions? So all these things will be very important. So these are some important articles that appear in our today's Hindu newspaper. And on December 4th onwards, we are going to start this prelims booster course, and students who are facing problem in clearing prelims and to understand the syllabus and how to read and to get a proper mentor guidance and to get prelims test series and daily prelims practice, everything. So you can join this prelims booster course, and if you have any queries regarding this prelims booster course, so please you can contact me on this number 8074765513, and the classes will be taken by 4 mentors. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this lecture, and from tomorrow onwards we are going to continue our class on the digital board itself. So for today, because I am out of station and I came to my hometown to cast my vote, so I thought that I should not take Hindu analysis today, but again I thought that so many students, they had many hopes on me, so that I should not do this, so it will be ethically wrong. So finally I came up, even though it is late, I came up with this Hindu analysis, but from tomorrow onwards we are going to have analysis on time, and that too on digital board. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to Rathod's IAS Academy, and please do like and share the class. Thank you so much for watching.